Welcome to this overview of Danish trade unions, their role, and their purpose in today's labor market. In this video, we will unpack why unions are so central to the Danish model, how they operate in practice, and what this means for employees, employers, and society at large. To understand Danish trade unions, it is important to start with the broader context. Denmark is often described as a flexicurity economy. Companies have relatively high flexibility to hire and dismiss employees, while workers enjoy a strong safety net and robust labor protections. Trade unions are one of the core pillars that make this system work. Rather than relying heavily on detailed labor legislation, Denmark delegates much of the regulation of pay and working conditions to the social partners, the trade unions on one side and employer organizations on the other. At the heart of this system are collective agreements, known as overenskomster. These are contracts negotiated between unions and employer associations or individual companies that set the framework for wages, working time, overtime compensation, holidays, pension contributions, training rights, and a wide range of other employment conditions. In many sectors, these agreements effectively function as the standard, even for workers who are not formally union members, because employers often choose to adhere to the collectively agreed terms to remain competitive and attractive. Danish trade unions therefore serve several core functions. First, they act as the organized voice of employees. Instead of each worker negotiating alone, unions consolidate the interests of many and negotiate on their behalf. This collective approach reduces power imbalances between individual employees and often larger, better resourced employers. Second, unions play a key role in ensuring fair and predictable working conditions. Through sector-level and company-level agreements, they help prevent a race to the bottom on wages and standards. Employers compete on productivity, innovation, and quality, rather than simply on who can pay the least. Third, unions provide concrete services and support to their members. These services typically include legal advice on employment issues, representation in disputes with employers, assistance in cases of wrongful dismissal or harassment, and guidance on contracts and working conditions. In many unions, members also have access to training opportunities, courses, and professional development programs that support career growth and employability. Another important component of the Danish system is the distinction between trade unions and unemployment insurance funds, known as A-kasser. While historically closely linked, the two are now formally separate entities. The A-kasser provides income support if a member becomes unemployed, while the union focuses on negotiating working conditions and offering professional and legal support. In practice, many people choose to be members of both, but they are not the same thing. Understanding this distinction is important for anyone entering the Danish labor market. A key characteristic of Danish trade unions is that membership is voluntary. There is no legal obligation to join a union, and yet membership density remains relatively high by international standards, especially in the public sector and in traditional industries such as manufacturing, construction, and transport. This voluntary model is underpinned by the fact that unions demonstrate clear, tangible value, better negotiated terms, supporting conflicts, and a collective voice in shaping workplace norms and broader labor market policies. From the employer's perspective, dealing with unions can offer stability and predictability. Instead of facing countless individual negotiations and potential conflicts, companies can rely on sectoral agreements that set a baseline. This reduces transaction costs, limits industrial unrest, and creates a clear framework for planning wages and staffing. It also facilitates structured dialogue when changes are needed, such as reorganizations, new technologies, or shifts in business strategy. At the macro level, unions are central actors in what is often referred to as the Danish model. Together with employer organizations and the government, they participate in tripartite cooperation, shaping everything from adult education and upskilling programs to integration of migrants into the labor market and responses to economic crises. During periods of downturn or major change, unions often play a constructive role in negotiating temporary adjustments or support schemes that balance competitiveness with social protection. It is also important to acknowledge that Danish trade unions are not monolithic. There are multiple confederations and many individual unions, typically organized by sector or profession. For example, unions for industrial workers, office employees, teachers, nurses, and various specialists. Some unions emphasize traditional collective bargaining. Others place strong focus on professional identity, career services, and knowledge sharing. Newer unions and interest organizations have also emerged, particularly targeting younger workers, freelancers, and people in atypical employment, adapting to a labor market that is becoming more flexible and diversified. Critics sometimes argue that union membership fees can be high or question whether unions remain relevant in a more individualized labor market. However, surveys and empirical data consistently show that in Denmark, collective agreements help keep wage dispersion relatively moderate, contribute to high job quality, and support social cohesion. For many professionals, the combination of negotiated standards and individual freedom to advance and specialize offers a balanced framework. To summarize, Danish trade unions exist to organize employees, negotiate collective agreements, and protect the interests of workers in a labor market built on flexibility and security. They help ensure fair pay and decent working conditions, provide legal and advisory support, and act as important partners for employers and government in shaping labor market policy. If you are working in Denmark or planning to, understanding the role of unions can help you make informed decisions about your own employment, benefits, and professional development. Whether you choose to join a union or not, the framework they have built and maintain will almost certainly influence your working life, from your salary and holiday rights to your opportunities for training and your protection in times of change.